My name is Christopher Oram and I'm the set and costume designer of Hughie on Broadway. Hughie's set in a hotel lobby in a rundown hotel on Broadway in the late 1920s, and it's the hotel where the central character, Erie Smith, has been living for the last 5 years. He's a sort of storyteller, he's a sort of fantasist, he's a gambler, and it's about a man who's lost his one companion, the one reason he had, the one person who believed him, the one person who he spoke to, the one person who indulged his fantastical stories. Erie arrives back on this night to find a new man behind the counter. He doesn't want to leave the lobby, that's the thing. He doesn't want to go up to his room, and I think there's a sort of slight implication that there's probably a bottle of pills and a knife in his room that, if he goes up there, he probably won't come down. He needs to make connection with this other human in order to basically justify his existence. It's a duologue, although one man says an awful lot and the other man says very little. The whole point of the play is that he doesn't want to go to his room, he doesn't want to go upstairs. So the space is dominated by a staircase, a giant staircase, which is unsubtly, metaphorically, a staircase to heaven. And so the staircase is a sort of gigantic metaphor about the place that he must simply not go. And several times during the evening, he gets sort of slightly halfway up it sort of thing. And this light kind of spirals down through the elevator and through the staircase as well. So you get the sense of the light, this sort of epiphany, this moment drawing him up. So this is the very first sketch I did of the space. I wanted to find an interesting angle to literally look at it from. And this is the first take on it, trying to get the position where the night clerk would have a relationship with Erie, but also Erie would then have a relationship with the audience down here, and the staircase would always be looming up behind it. First pass at what the doors would be at the back, and the fact that they would be contrasting timber with the tin ceiling and with the stone stairs. First attempt at costume drawings as well, because obviously the two figures that inhabit it are very much part of that space, and I wanted them both to feel that they were almost permanent residents of it as well. So tonally they all fit. This hotel was built in the late 1800s. The architect of that period is very much about the materials of what they would have used. So it's the mosaic floor tiles in the central area, the steelwork of the elevator, the marble on the stairs, the big heavy cast iron handrails. There's a lot of kind of ornate, richly teak kind of wood for the desk and the pigeonholes, but also the architecture of the front wall as well, and the revolving door. So there's a lot of warmth of those tones, and then the tin tile ceiling, again, that's kind of slightly rusty and old. There's a sort of green hue to a lot of it, so it's sort of greens and browns. And then the sign itself, the neon sign outside, which blazes light in through the front door, is actually a green light. It's a very elegant, slight, but gigantic story. That's what's wonderful about it. This one man encapsulates everyone's life, but a man who, arrives with very little left to live for, discovers a reason to carry on.